Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the latest news of what Paul Parker has come out and said, who of course is a Manchester United legend. Then after that I am going to be giving you the latest news on Adrian Rabiot from Juventus, because a bit more additional information is updated about him. Then I am going to be talking with you a bit more about Werner from RP Leipzig and that. Do you think Manchester United should try and sign him in the summer transfer window? Then there's lots of other things to currently talk about. So let's start with the news on Paul Parker anyway. So Paul Parker has recently come out and said that Manchester United should stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he believes, we are going in the right direction under Solskjaer, and he insists that, we should not make a move for Mauricio Pochettino. Now, obviously, Mauricio Pochettino recently publicly admitted that, he wants to continue managing in England, and that Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino has been heavily linked with a Newcastle job. Obviously, if the Saudi Arabians do take over Newcastle, I think, they're going to buy the club for around £300 million. The Saudi Arabians are run by Amanda Staveley. I don't think, the takeover is yet complete, but if the Saudi Arabians do take over, Newcastle do want to recommend Mauricio Pochettino in to replace Steve Bruce. I think it mentioned from Sky Sports quite a few weeks ago now, saying that Newcastle are willing to offer £19 million a year for Mauricio Pochettino and that. So there you go. But Mauricio Pochettino has been linked with a managerial role at Manchester United. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, when Solskjaer was close to getting the sack, there was obviously, a lot of narratives coming out of the mainstream media about Mauricio Pochettino coming in. There wasn't only talks about him coming in, there was also talks about Massimiliano Allegri coming in. And I think Pochettino's had quite a few negotiations with Manchester United and that. Obviously, Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United, before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job permanently. After Jose Mourinho got sacked, there was talks of Pochettino coming in. Of course, Pochettino is managerless at the moment. Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. Like I said, I think he won 159 games in 293 games that he managed in all competitions. And I think Pochettino won around 113 games in the Premier League out of the 202 that he managed in the Premier League. Analysing the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. Don't forget, Pochettino got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season. Pochettino has managed 3 clubs so far in his managerial career. Before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton. Enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Southampton. I think he actually guided Southampton to their highest ever finish. And before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol, was Mauricio Pochettino. So he is well proven in the Premier League. My only element of concern about Mauricio Pochettino is that, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware and that. But we decided, to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer instead of Mauricio Pochettino. And the couple of main explanations is because, Solskjaer knows the culture and that of the football club, because he was a great player for us for 11 years. And plus, Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. And obviously, the main explanation why Solskjaer got the job on a permanent basis was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But, if Solskjaer, was to be sacked by the football club and Pochettino was still to be managerless, then I think, Pochettino would be the favourite to take over the football club. But Paul Parker has said, that we need to stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because probably he believes that Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Obviously, the other week he had Danny Rose, and he come out and given his verdict on it. Danny Rose, of course, is now on loan at Newcastle, but he is a former Tottenham player, and he actually said that Pochettino will eventually end up at Manchester United. Maybe he means like the foreseeable future and that. So there you go. So that is the latest news on that. But like I said, Solskjaer will be given at least another season at the football club. And I think he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, because it is a transition period for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment. And like he revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But it has been a transition period for quite some time. Solskjaer's been at the football club now, is it around 17 months or just over 17 months? So he has been at the football club over a year as Solskjaer. And like I said to before, I have, seen improvements under Solskjaer. I've seen improvements, I think, players have improved under Solskjaer. I think the likes of Martial's improved. Luke Shaw's really, really improved. Rashford's done very, very well. Fred, obviously, he's done very, very well in that. But all them players, endured very, very difficult times under the Jose Mourinho era. Of course, because Jose Mourinho's got a bad reputation with the top players and that. And that was one of the main explanations why Jose Mourinho got sacked from Manchester United. Also, too, he had bad disputes with the board, and the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in to the football club. So there you go on that. I think also you can say Solskjaer's changed of personnel, and he's also changed of tactics in that. I think our record against the big six sides this season has also been exceptional. But yeah, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at the football club. He really, really does, because, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We have sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes. David Moyes only endured, 9 months at Manchester United. He endured the shortest tenure with the football club. We know that Moyes never should have been recommended in, but Ferguson, was at the fault for recommending him in. But that's the only mistake Alex Ferguson made, was recommending David Moyes in. The main explanation why I recommended him in is because they was both Scottish. I think we did finish 7th under the David Moyes era, by the way. And then obviously, Louis van Gaal, he got sacked after he endured 2 years at Manchester United. We did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal era. And like I said, Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United, and he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. So like I said, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. I think Solskjaer has got around, 2 years left on his Manchester United contract. But like I've mentioned, we have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. And, one of the main explanations why we've been inconsistent in the last 6 or 7 years is because, we have made a lot of mistakes in that, to be quite honest with you. But like I said, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so the last time we won the Premier League was in Alex Ferguson's last season and that. And this has been the 7th season now, that we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. It really, really is in that. But, the last time we dominated English football was back under the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Alex Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United. Obviously, Alex Ferguson won a total of 38 major honours. One of the most decorated managers of all time. Obviously, though Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club and that. And obviously, Ferguson at that point was very, very close to getting the sack. But all our success, came under Alex Ferguson. So no one at Man United will ever replicate Ferguson's legacy, and no one will last as long ever as Alex Ferguson did in that. But I don't know if Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. I really, really don't in that. But I've got to credit him, for the players that he has recommended in so far, because, Solskjaer has recommended 5 players into the football club and spent, around £220 million. And he has endured 3 transfer windows. Didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window, but in the 2 previous windows, he's recommended 5 good players into the squad. Last summer, he brought Daniel James, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And of course, in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odi Ighalo in. And definitely, the signing of Bruno Fernandes has saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United and that, because he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. So we've made 4 permanent signings, and of course Solskjaer did get a player on loan, and that was Odi Ighalo and that. So there you go. I've also got to credit Solskjaer as well, because he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. I think a total of 19 players have left Manchester United since Solskjaer came in. I think around 8 or 9 senior players have left, and I think around 10 young players also left. And Solskjaer's looking to get rid of more of the deadwood in the summer transfer window. I think he's looking to get rid of around 6 or 7 players. So there's big decisions to be made in the summer transfer window, like who are Man United going to recommend in and what players are we going to get rid of. I've got an idea of the players we're going to get rid of. I think, we're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We're also going to get rid of Lingard. I think we're going to get rid of Andres Pereira. Smalling and Rojo are going to go on permanent transfers. I give you the news on Smalling recently. Paulo Finesca, the Roma manager, did say that Chris Smalling wants to stay at Roma. Roma, do want to get Chris Smalling on a permanent transfer. I think, we have said we want around £20 million to get rid of Smalling permanently, but I don't think he's coming back to Manchester United. I give you the news on Rojo this morning. Rojo's asking price is being revealed. We do want around £12 million to get rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer. I think Estudiantes are looking to get him on a permanent basis because he's on loan at Estudiantes at the moment. I think Boca Juniors are also in for him as well, but we definitely won't take Marcus Rojo back at the football club. We did get Rojo from Sporting Lisbon back in 2014 for £16 million. And Rojo enjoyed 5.5 years at Manchester United and made around 122 appearances in all competitions, did Marcus Rojo. And obviously, I think he sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. So, he won't be coming back to the football club. Delors could also possibly leave the club as well. There's still a lot of uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future. We'll probably loan Alexis Sanchez back out because we won't be able to get rid of Sanchez permanently, reflecting on his substantial wages at the football club. Because Sanchez is facing a dilemma, because Inter Milan don't want to get him permanently. We don't want him back at Manchester United. Angel Gomez, I think he's going to be going on a free transfer at the end of next month when his contract expires, because there's no signs of Angel Gomez signing a new contract at Man United, and we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but he's turned them down. I think we're also going to be loaning James Garner out as well. So definitely no more players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. But like I said, Solskjaer's got the backing of Ed Woodward. And Ed Woodward has assured quite a few times this season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. I think also too the Glazers are willing to back Solskjaer and that. Solskjaer did make an admission a couple of weeks ago, and he did say we will enjoy a different transfer window to the recent ones that we've enjoyed. But a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window. Obviously, with the financial issues with the coronavirus pandemic. So there's a lot of uncertainty regarding the summer transfer window. But I think, we can actually enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. I really, really do. Don't forget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given words in private about transfers. And reportedly, we have told Solskjaer that we might find it difficult to give him a transfer budget. We're going to find it, very, very difficult, and that to give Solskjaer a transfer budget. By the way, Solskjaer's transfer limit has been set, like I mentioned the other day, because it says Ed Woodward, reportedly. Ed Woodward is privately reluctant to spend any more than 60 or 70 million pounds on any player in that. On any player. So there you go. Don't forget, Ed Woodward spoke to investors on Thursday on a conference call, and our latest financial figures have recently been revealed. Our debt has risen up by almost £130 million. So now in total, our net debt is £429.1 million, with the club no longer predicting revenues of up to £580 million. I think we have lost around £28 million, obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic, but we do expect the final figure to be much higher. And Ed Woodward did also make the admission saying that the coronavirus pandemic is one of the hardest moments in Manchester United's 142-year history in that. And obviously, Ed Woodward, did confirm last month that, we will not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So basically, he ruled out big transfers to Manchester United, did Ed Woodward. And he also insists, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds and that. So there you go. But, I'm hopefully, that we can get the, right players to Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer has said, he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer and that, because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. And Solskjaer's identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. I think he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. Like he did do last summer. But like I said, the season's supposedly resuming next month. I think it is going to be resuming next month, is the Premier League season. Some media outlets said it's going to be resuming on the 19th of June. Some media outlets said it could be resuming on the 18th of June. And some said it could even resume on the 12th of June. It all depends on the fitness levels and that. But it is going to be resuming next month. Don't forget the Bundesliga is already back. So there you go and that. Like I said, the first Premier League game back is Tottenham and Manchester United, which is obviously, going to be a very, very good game. The Premier League season has been suspended, is it now, for a good 9 or 10 weeks. It got suspended on the 13th of March. Yeah. Don't forget, now our full squad have been back in training. We've named the 29-man squad for when the season does resume. So we have got a fully fit squad. We actually returned to training last Wednesday. Yes, we did, in that we returned to training, because the Premier League did confirm on a statement last Monday that clubs had unanimously voted to return to smaller training groups. So that's been a step forward, to resuming the season and that. But like I mentioned to you, we've got things to look forward to. We've obviously got the FA Cup to look forward to, because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board, and plus we're into the quarterfinals. We've got the Europa League to look forward to, because we are into the last 8 of the Europa League, and that's also a chance for us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. Don't forget we are chasing the top 4 as well. We are sitting fifth at the moment. We are 3 points behind Chelsea. I think if we do get qualification for the Champions League, we do get around a 50 million boost on our finances. So obviously, that's very, very positive in that. So there you go. So we have obviously got things to look forward to. I think there's 9 games remaining in the Premier League, and there's 92 games to play in all competitions and that. Don't forget Liga 1 got cancelled. I think La Liga is set to resume on the 8th of June and that. So there you go. So there you go and that. And like I said, we've got decisions to make before the football season resumes. Like I said, we've got to make a decision on Odion Ighalo's future. We've also got to make a decision on Paul Pogba's future. We've got to make a decision on Diego Dalot's future. Solskjaer, of course, I think has got to work out his best formation, because he has been changing formation persistently this season. Maybe he needs to work out his best 11, because he's made a lot of rotation in the squad this season, but that's obviously reflecting on the injuries that we've had. And that. Maybe, he should give the youngsters more opportunities as well when the football season does resume. So definitely, Man United have got decisions to make before the football season does resume and that. So there you go. Like I said to you before, we have got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So that's something else we do need to resolve. But to be fair, a lot of players' contracts have been, extended, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. Don't forget last week as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had given an interview to the United Stand fanzine, the United We Stand fanzine, and he was saying that, he'd rather have a hole in the squad than an arsehole. I've mentioned, this topic to in my recent videos. He's obviously very big on personalities, Solskjaer, and also players fitting the dynamic of the squad. But he did, Solskjaer did reveal the problems that we had in the squad last season. Players physically tired, mentally tired. He also mentioned players in that getting injured and stuff like that. But he did say, there isn't currently a bad apple in the team at the moment. But one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's biggest tasks was getting rid of the bad attitudes, and that led to Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez's departure from the football club last summer and that. So these are some of the stuff Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned in the interview with the United We Stand fanzine. This is what I did currently mention, and he said that will not tolerate personal agendas at the club, because he made an admission saying I've had players at the club with personal agendas, but now it will not be tolerated. So there you go. So who are Manchester United going to sign in the summer transfer window? There's been so many players on our agenda. Now let's just give you the news on Adrian Rabiot from Juventus. So according to recent reports, this is stemming from Gazzetta dello Sport, which is an Italian publication, and they've reportedly said that Man United have opened up negotiations with Adrian Rabiot's agent, who is actually his mother, but she acts like his agent, over the possible move to Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Now, also too, Arsenal have been in talks, and Everton have also expressed their interest. I think a couple of weeks ago, Adrian Rabiot had made an admission saying that he's had some talks with Carlo Ancelotti. It also did mention a couple of weeks ago, this was stemming from the mainstream media, saying that allegedly Adrian Rabiot told Juventus he's going on strike, and allegedly he was refusing to return to training, was Adrian Rabiot. But I think, he actually, denied this. Now, Adrian Rabiot's enjoyed a very, very difficult debut season with Juventus. Obviously, he's served his 2 requirements at Juventus because, likes of Milan Pjanic and Matuidi did not get there ahead of Adrian Rabiot. Adrian Rabiot has got a contract with Juventus until 2023. Juventus did get him on a free transfer last summer from Paris Saint-Germain. Actually, Adrian Rabiot did spend the vast majority of his career with Paris Saint-Germain. He was with PSG for several years, and I think he won a total of 18 major honours with PSG, did Adrian Rabiot. This is what he won, with PSG. So he was a revelation at PSG, but he hasn't been so good at Juventus. He is available, by the way, I think he's available in the £20 million range. I think it did say in the Daily Mail he would be available for around £27 million, and he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, is Adrian Rabiot. But I think we also inquired about his availability when he was at PSG. Don't forget, there's also been talks about Adrian Rabiot coming to Man United as part of a swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. Don't forget, I think that was mentioned a couple of weeks ago, saying we'd open talks over swapping Paul Pogba for Adrian Rabiot, but I don't think a lot of Manchester United fans would go along with this swap deal. And obviously a few other Juventus players have been mentioned as well. Ramsey's been spoken about, Pjanic, Douglas Costa, Federico Bernardeschi. De Ligt also got mentioned a while back as well. So there you go. So would you take Adrian Rabiot at Manchester United? Because we are probably seeing him as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. So that's the latest news on him. Now, let's give you the latest news on Timo Werner. So do you think Manchester United should sign Timo Werner in the summer transfer window? By the way, today, Leipzig beat Mainz 05 by 5-0, and Timo Werner did score a hat-trick. Now, I think, a lot of Manchester United fans would take Timo Werner at the football club, but to be quite honest with you, I'm very, very sceptical that Timo Werner will come to Manchester United, because he's already revealed that his preference is a move to Liverpool. Because don't forget, Timo Werner was talking about, he's been talking about Liverpool a lot, and don't forget, he did say back in February that, Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers in the world, and he gave the 4 main explanations the other week why he does want to join Liverpool. But reportedly now, Liverpool are planning to sign Timo Werner next summer instead of this summer. I think the main explanation for that is, so Liverpool obviously, can get him cheaper, and Liverpool may not be able to afford Timo Werner in the summer transfer window. Now, it did say, if Leipzig don't win the Bundesliga, this season anyway, Timo Werner's release clause does drop from £52 million to £44 million, because Timo Werner's release clause at the moment is £52 million in his RB Leipzig contract. David Einstein, who's a very credible journalist, he came out the other week and he said, Werner will only leave Leipzig to join Liverpool. But he also said, Liverpool may not make any signings in the summer transfer window, because it said around 3 weeks ago that Liverpool had put their summer spending on hold and that. But there has been a few clubs that have been in for Werner. Quite a few weeks ago, Werner he held personal talks with Jurgen Klopp. I think Werner's spoken with us. He's also spoken with Barcelona. I think Chelsea have also been in negotiations with his agent. Werner's a very, very good player. His versatility is very, very good. You can play him centrally, but you can also put him on the left and you can also put him on the right and that. And he's only in his 20s, 24, he's 24, 25, something like that. This has been Werner's 4th season with RB Leipzig. He has got a contract with RB Leipzig until 2023. Leipzig did pay, around £10 million to him from Stuttgart back in 2016. Don't forget, Werner became the youngest player to reach 200 Bundesliga appearances. He's got over 90 goals now for RB Leipzig in all competitions. But there you go. But yeah, I'd take, Timo Werner at Manchester United. I really, really wouldn't that. Obviously, earlier on today, I give you the news on Jadon Sancho, didn't I, from Borussia Dortmund. According to recent reports today, Jadon Sancho's move now to Manchester United depends on Manchester City's European ban being upheld. So that's what it depends on, basically. Manchester City's 2-year European ban will be heard from CAS next month. So it'll either be on the 8th, the 9th or the 10th of June and that, because don't forget Manchester City did appeal against the decision and that. The main explanation why Manchester City got a 2-year ban from the Champions League was breaking financial fair play rules in that. So it's uncertain, whether Jadon Sancho's going to come to Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Don't forget Jadon Sancho is our number one priority target in that, and we have been in for Jadon Sancho for quite some time. We've been in for him. And like I said recently, Bayern Munich have entered the race for Jadon Sancho, but I don't think Borussia Dortmund want to sell Jadon Sancho to Bayern Munich because they are rivals. Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid and Barcelona have all been in for Jadon Sancho, but I think Sancho did reveal his preferred option would be a move to Manchester United if he was to leave Borussia Dortmund. Sancho did play yesterday in Borussia Dortmund's 2-0 win against Wolfsburg, but he didn't start. He started on the bench, but he did come on as a substitute. That was the second game in a row since the Bundesliga started that Sancho has been on the bench. So you can, that's obviously, I've got Manchester United fans talking. Is he fully fit? Is he still injured, Jadon Sancho? Because don't forget, recently he was out with a calf injury. I think we're hoping to get Jadon Sancho for around 60, maybe 70 million pounds. That's what we're hoping to get Jadon Sancho for. But I don't think either of them figures are going to be enough to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him in that, because Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. They have said they want at least £100 million, and we've said already we're not willing to smash our transfer record for the player. We're not willing to do it. And Borussia Dortmund are basically waiting for the transfer fees to return to normal before selling Sancho. Because obviously, you had the Borussia Dortmund managing director. He came out last week and said he expects players' transfer valuations to drop with the coronavirus crisis. David Einstein, again, credible journalist, he said last week there's a very high chance that Jadon Sancho will join Manchester United in the summer. So there you go on that. But actually, Sancho could remain at Borussia Dortmund for next season, and maybe, we could get Jadon Sancho in the summer of 2021 and that. So there you go. So the news, don't you, on Jadon Sancho. The news on Jack Grealish. Villa do want at least £80 million for Jack Grealish. regardless of whether they get relegated or not. You know the news on Jude Bellingham and that. The most players that have been linked with Man United, the most names that have been mentioned in the mainstream media is Sancho, Grealish, and Jude Bellingham and that. So there you go. Obviously, I give you the news on Saul Niguez yesterday from Atletico Madrid. You already know the news on him. Allegedly, Saul Niguez to Manchester United is practically done. That was stemming from reports in Spain yesterday, and confirmation will be expected at the end of the season. That reportedly we're going to get Saul Niguez for around £70 million and that. So like I said, there's so many players on our agenda. Like I said now, Paul Pogba's back from injury, which is very, very good. He's been stepping up his fitness regime. Marcus Rashford now he's back from his back injury, which is also very, very good news. Because like I mentioned, Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba have been big misses for Manchester United. They really, really haven't that. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.